So yesterday, November 8th, the FAA released an emergency airworthiness directive directed at the MD-11 and MD-11F. If you don't know what an emergency airworthiness directive is, it's when there's unsafe conditions in an aircraft and immediate action is required. This comes, of course, following the UPS Flight 2976 crash in Louisville on November 4th. That was a Tuesday. This would have been sent out on a Saturday. And that was a day after Boeing, so this was on Friday, Boeing released their recommendation to the 3 operators of the MD-11 to ground them while they do further investigation. The 3 carriers are UPS, FedEx, and Western Global Express. This is the Boeing statement. They made one on the 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th. The 8th was just supporting the airworthiness directive, and then this is the actual airworthiness directive. This emergency EAD was prompted by an accident where the left-handed engine and pylon detached from the airplane during takeoff. The cause of the detachment is currently under investigation. This condition could result in the loss of continued safe flight and landing. The people who send this out only do this when there could be a network-wide safety risk. So risk with all the MD-11s. So they did their basic screening and they couldn't find anything that was the cause of this. So they have to send this out so that other bad stuff doesn't happen, so more crashes don't happen. That's basically what this is. This will probably, I don't know, because we haven't had one, because the last grounding that I remember, I mean, again, there could have been other ones, but the last big one was the 737, and this is right up there with this, because this really affects cargo. Commercial passenger is a whole different animal, and so is cargo, but this is just affecting cargo. No passenger airlines fly the MD-11, and this is only in America. If there were airlines in different countries, they may just ground them, but this is only directed in America. But yeah, that's what this means. So I don't know how long this is going to be in effect for, but I could foresee it being a while until they figure out what happened. But what does this do for the MD-11? It definitely speeds up the process. I know that UPS and FedEx are phasing them out with 767s, a pretty reliable aircraft. The MD-11, this is not the first time the MD-11 has issues. I personally love the airplane. It's a badass airplane, especially the engine on the back. I love the aesthetic of it. But doesn't mean it's a safe plane just because it looks cool. It's been in the air for 30 years, and it was the predecessor of the DC-10. And we've seen this before. Well, some of you guys have seen this before back in the 70s. I wasn't alive back then. But when the DC-10 crashed, of course, I'm talking about American Flight 191, where the whole pylon came off too and the engine. And, you know, there's a little difference, but it's pretty much the same thing. And that was again caused by improper maintenance procedures, which I thought, and again, I'm not credentialed or anything. I'm not professional. I don't work for the NTSB, none of that. But my initial thought was, oh, what if it was the maintenance again? It doesn't look like that's the case. It doesn't look like that's the case at all. So there could just be an inherent problem with the MD-11, but we won't know until the FAA or the NTSB releases their final report of what happened, and they'll give out their recommendations. Now, the recommendations are probably just going to be like phase them out as soon as possible, because these planes are almost done for. In the next 3 years, they'll be gone. There won't be any in the sky, and the legacy will definitely be tarnished by this crash. This was a major crash. I don't think you guys understand. This is a major crash, especially because it was kind of doing good. There weren't many issues, big issues, and then this happened. But yeah. And if you guys don't know, this is what the MD-11 is. I'm assuming you guys already know what the MD-11 looks like. But it has the big engine on the back, which I think that's one of the cool factors about it. They don't make planes like that anymore. The last plane, you know, you got the TriStar, the 727, and the DC-10. But yeah, this will definitely tarnish the reputation of this legendary plane, in my opinion. I call it legendary because I love the plane. It's just my opinion. Yeah, it's definitely going to tarnish the record. Definitely going to speed up the retirement process. Now, you can only go so fast when you're freezing out an aircraft, but they're definitely going to try to speed it up as quickly as they possibly can, because I don't think that they want to be dealing with these planes anymore, especially after a major accident. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how long this EAD lasts for. I'm expecting it to last for months, maybe even. People say that there was a UPS flight that was MD-11 yesterday. People are saying that's the last MD-11 flight. I personally don't think so. I think that they're gonna get this figured out before the last one flies, but it could have been the last flight. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys for watching the video, and yeah.